Okay, this video is going to possess many cuts considering your response was a bit lengthy and I'm too lazy right now to go and write crap down. So I'm going to be referring to your video quite a few times to address or try to address the main points of your argument. Because to be perfectly honestly truthful with you, my friend, I can't seem to remember each point in chronological order. I apologize and bear with me. Okay. First point. My friend, I hate the news. 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 I hate the news as much as the next person hates the news. And I believe each news agency holds with it its own personal agenda and propaganda, something me and you can both agree on. And you can't, as many people do, assume I, for example, watch Fox News because my views are somewhat consistent to Fox News's views. And I'm not suggesting you did, my friend, but I know for a fact, someone watching this specific video has just classified me as a Fox News sheep, as many people do constantly. Because if one does, in fact, classify me as a Fox News sheep, my friend, with all due respect, and I do respect you, but I'm going to have to use you as an example. If if one classifies me as a Fox News junkie because I share a common viewpoint with Fox News, then I'm going to have to classify you, Bantrum, my friend, as a uh, Rosie O'Donnell junkie slash sheep because of your common viewpoints with Rosie. But does that mean you go around watching Rosie's show? No, 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 no. Same here, my friend. My point is, stop classifying me with a news agency I have no intentions of even watching. And no, I'm not referring to you because you classified me as a propagandist and not as a Fox News propagandist. So I'm going to classify you now as not a rosy propagandist, but just a propagandist. Now we're even. We're both propagandists trying to spread our message, whatever that being, to the tens, maybe hundreds of viewers watching our videos. Uh, Now, as for suggesting my credibility is gone because I came out as saying I once heard on the news or whatever, my friend, I hate the news as I mentioned earlier, but it's necessary to keep up with the current events, and it's one's responsibility to filter all the crap out and leave with just the event. And then you must go out and research and form your own analysis and opinion on that specific event. And that's pretty much my view on the news. Um, I know, my friend. I know what you're thinking. No, 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 no. People, friends, whatever, I don't watch Fox News. I'm more of a liberal news kind of guy. Because, my friend, crap is easier to spot. And I'm serious, by the way. Now, for the boy that got burned, how's that administrative propaganda by the news agencies when the boy's mother came out publicly as condemning the act? Oh, I get it. Wait, I'm sorry. Oh, I get it now. She's a paid propagandist for the news agencies. I get it now. Stupid. Now let's talk about the insurgency in Iraq. You're right, my friend. The majority of the insurgents in Iraq are in fact Iraqis. But that majority, the Iraqi majority, are the ones who are committing the sectarian violence. I was never referring to the sectarian violence. I was referring to the insurgents whose primary agenda, goal, whatever, is to go out and kill coalition forces. Prime, remember, my friend, the key word here is primary goal. Primary goal. The insurgents whose primary goal is to go out and kill coalition forces are in fact foreigners, not Iraqis. Primary. And what else? My friend, you keep mentioning how Bush and America is constantly speaking for the Iraqi people when it is you who is characterizing the Iraqi people as being against America and the Iraqi government. So it is you who is speaking for the for the Iraqi people in the first place. And you are not Iraqi, or are you governed by the Iraqi government? So by your standards, you have no authority to speak in representing the Iraqi people, and thus you hold no credibility in your stance, my friend. Sorry. Then, what else? Oh yeah, you keep trying to make it seem as if America wants the sectarian violence in the first place. Are you kidding me, honestly? Are you kidding me? The sectarian violence is hurting America. You don't hear the majority of Americans screaming or protesting for the withdrawal of the troops from South Korea or Germany because, my friend, those regions are stabilized. Once again, the majority of Americans are against the war. How the hell is that beneficial to American interest in Iraq? Republicans lost the majority in Congress. As a result, thank God, though, the president has the veto power. Once again, and wait, and wasn't it the extreme violence in Vietnam that led to the withdrawal of American troops from that region? My friend, once again, the violence hurts America interest as a whole, my friend. Now you said something like the raids by coalition forces are killing more innocent civilians than they are militants. First, my friend, where are you getting your information from? Sectarian violence is the primary cause of civilian death, not coalition raids. I admit that the death of civilians do in fact occur in the hands of coalition forces. There is no denying that fact, and it's unavoidable. But not to the extent where 60,000 Iraqi civilians were slaughtered in the hands of coalition forces. My friend, that is just, I don't know, that is just your own propaganda tool, and have fun with it. Uh, I'm confused about something. This I'm really confused about. You said something like each side is selling out, and that's the reason the Sunnis and Shiites are fighting. What? That means each group thinks the other group has sold out to the occupiers. That's why the Shiites and Sunnis are fighting. I might have misunderstood you there, my friend. Because that sounds ridiculous considering these two groups trace their conflict back to the Saddam regime, where Saddam, being a Sunni, repressed the Shiites, but this conflict also traces back on a religious front as well. There has been conflict between these two groups the death of Muhammad, since after the death of Muhammad, where the schism in Islam occurred. Again, I might have misunderstood you there, so whatever. Now for personal gain. My friend, most are fighting for personal gain. I don't mean each individual is solely fighting for his own individual gain. I mean personal group gain. The Sunnis have their own ideology they want to establish in government, or should I say they want to establish their own Sunni government. And the Shiites have their own agendas that they want established. And yes, I know the government, as of right now, in Iraq is run by the Shiites. But the government and its constitution are not what these radical Shiites are seeking. Do you really believe these these radical Shiites would want to split their oil profits with the Sunnis, especially after Saddam's brutal regime? Of course not. They want the Sunnis pushed back, the Shiites want the Sunnis pushed back as far as possible. Now, and the extremists want America out because America is serving as a burden to the group's personal ambitions, to these vast groups' personal ambitions.